Welcome to the July 2026, middle of the year summer market report for Bend West Side 2, 3, and 4 unit properties. We're going to dig into the data and see what is happening in this small market. I say small, geographically pretty small, but data-wise small as well. So these reports always lack what we call statistical significance. So the averages can be heavily modified and weighted by certain types of properties that are going on and off the market. But let's see what the data has to say about what's happening right now compared to what was happening in March of this year, 4 months ago, and then what was happening in June of last year, about 13 months ago. So there's currently 4 properties that are active and one that's come on the market in the last 30 days. So if we look back here, one coming on the market in a given 30-day period is pretty normal. We've had as low as 2 in the market. We've had 7 on the market at different times. The average prices per units have varied quite a bit from about $1 million to 1.8 million, but right now we are at almost 1.1 million. But when we kind of right size these numbers relative to the size of the properties and whatnot, we see that we're at 2787 square feet total, but 476,000 per square foot and about $450 per square foot here in terms of the actual price per square foot. Comparing that to before, we were at 433 when we pulled this report 4 months ago. We were at 470 when we did it last year, about 13 months ago. So these numbers have not changed too much in terms of price per square foot. Days on market, we're at 100 or so now. We were at 130 before and 70 before that. So just about the average of these last 2 data points. Currently, there's 3 properties that are pending in this area. 3 last time we looked, last couple times, there's 1 and 1. And in the last 180 days, we've seen 4 properties come off the market without having sold. But we see 4 properties that were indeed sold. So what does this coming off the market without being sold mean? Well, it just means that someone tried to sell the property. Probably their mentality was, hey, if I can sell it and get my price, then I'll be happy to let it go. If I can't, then I'll let it come off the market, cancel the listing, just let it expire, etc. So we've had about half of them go that direction, but then half of them actually close as well. So I like the fact that I see there's 4 current properties, there's 3 that are pending, and there's 4 that have closed in these last 180 days. It shows kind of a flow through the system. It shows the system not getting clogged too much. So if we look at some of these key data points, our price per square foot, price per unit of closed ones in the last 6 months is 326,125. That number feels pretty low to me, especially compared to 4 months ago, is almost 100,000 more than that. Our average price per unit of what's being asked right now is 476 compared to 326, so $150,000 per unit more. And our price per square foot here this time was $293 a square foot, and we're asking right now 449. So a big difference there, over 150 bucks a square foot difference there too. So probably the ones that have closed recently have not been the fancier properties. The fancier ones are maybe the ones that are currently still on the market, maybe newer construction, maybe nicer, fancier features and fixtures and things like that. When we look back at the last couple times we looked at the report, $293 a square foot is quite a bit less than 347 and way less than $631 a square foot. So these numbers are kind of all over the place as it relates to the west side of Portland, but that's kind of par for the course in terms of the west side of Bend, because we just don't have a huge number of these to create, really detailed averages. When you average a number out, when there's only maybe 4 numbers comprising that average, they can be skewed greatly by individual numbers. But that is what's happening on the west side of Bend right now in the Plex market. Happy to see that we've got 4 things on the market, 3 pending and 4 that have closed in the last 6 months. And if you would like to discuss your Plex with me, your 2 to 4 unit property in Bend anywhere, west side is great, then give me a call, 503-869-7303, or a text. Visit my website or send me an email, Jeff at oregonplex.com. And I will see you in another West Side Bend market update video soon. Thanks.